everyone hop in. Okay, so I'm excited y'all are here and that our team has some other faces here tonight. So Emily invited some of her ladies to just come hear this. But Emily, we're really excited you're here. So I know you've spoken to our team in the past. It has been quite a few years. But y'all, I have watched this lady from the beginning and her journey is just so inspiring and so just real. I love how real you are with who you are and the things you believe in. And like, that's what allows us to have success in this is just being true to ourselves and being genuine. And so I love watching people and emulating people who do that well. And so I wanted, especially my newer ladies that maybe didn't get to hear you last time, to just get to hear your story and maybe some tips that have helped you along the way. So take it away, girl.
Well, hey, y'all. Hi, team. For those of my team that are on, this story is going to sound familiar. It's something that you guys hear often. So backstory, before Plexus, so from 2010 to 2013, my life was a wreck. Okay. The Emily that you see that is in Plexus and successful and positive and different is not the Emily from 2010. I'm going to tell you about her real fast. The Emily from 2010 left her husband, sold everything to go live with someone that truly didn't love me. I broke all friendships and burned all bridges. My mother disowned me. And if you know me now, you know that my mom and I are like this. And so it's so weird to even hear me say that. But she was so disappointed in my decisions and actions that she wanted nothing to do with me. So just to kind of give you a little glimpse of where I was at in 2010. So come 2014, not only was I a brand new mom, my husband and I had been in counseling and had rekindled our marriage. We've now been married for almost 11 and a half years, I think. And so God is good. So exciting that I made the changes, but that's what this is going to be about tonight, is making the changes. Okay. But I needed you to know where I was at mentally, all the things before Plexus. I had no friends. When I made a new Facebook, people would not accept my friend request because they thought I was old Emily. They didn't know that Scott and I had worked it out and that I was changing my ways and in counseling and all the things. And so when I had a new baby and became a new mom, Scott was in Afghanistan. So he was in the Marine Corps for 10 years and served our country 4 years overseas during deployments. We joke that we spent more time apart than together. And that taught me independence. Now I'm the oldest of 4. I've been independent my whole life, but this is like a new level of independence, especially when you are smitten and in love with somebody and then they're on a battlefield, you feel like you're in a Lifetime movie. Okay. And so I learned a lot about myself and I wanted to wow him when he came home from that deployment, because when he left on that last deployment, I was 9 months pregnant. He left 2 weeks before we welcomed our first child. So thankful for the USO because they allowed him to Skype with me during that whole thing. Literally, I mean, there's nothing more vulnerable than your man watching you push out a baby. Okay. And to do it through Skype was such a blessing, even though I do wish he was there. So that happened. And shortly after that happened, I lost my grandfather. My grandfather was like my dad. My dad is not in the picture. And so my grandfather, losing him to something like diabetes and cancer, opened my eyes to what I had. At this time, I was a Ruby ambassador, you guys. And I'll go through my ranks and all that fun stuff in a second, but I was a Ruby ambassador struggling with being just Ruby. And then this happened in my family, like our first big loss. And it opened my eyes to, this is what I have. I have to tell the world about it. And I started affirming it. And you are more than welcome to borrow this affirmation. But my affirmation was, I don't have to do Plexus. I get to share Plexus. And it built my confidence up. I was a Ruby, but like Rubies, we think y'all think y'all are so cool and your gym, but we don't know nothing. We are learning and learning and learning and learning, right? We're growing into leadership and it's so exciting. And your Plexus business is booming, but we're baby leaders. And I was one of those stubborn baby leaders that was experiencing a loss. So I went, full-fledged into Plexus in that moment. But leading up to that, let's talk about it. The day before I joined Plexus, I made fun of it on social media. I literally was on my friend's website, but making fun of it to the world. I was one of those people. We all have one person in our life that makes fun of us or even comes on our social media posts and is so tacky. And you're like, why can't you just scroll by? Well, I was the person. I was that person that would comment on your things. I really, truly didn't know what I didn't know about Plexus or gut health. I thought it was for old people. I thought probiotics were for old people. Like I said, I was a baby learner. I had to make some changes. Okay. And what's crazy about all of this is becoming a mother and going through a loss and learning independence with a person that's fighting a war. There was a lot of emotions and things that I had processed through my business. So like when I think back of all the things that I've grown through over the last 7.5 years with my Plexus business, it's pretty wild. So I ranked up every single month in my business. I kind of stalled out around Senior Ruby. That was the time that I moved from California to Virginia. I had built a team in California. It was so exciting. I had all these girls working on gold and senior gold. And my husband's like, hey, we got orders to Virginia. And I'm like, that's on the other side of the world. Like, that's what it felt like. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. But what it taught me was the people that get you to where you're going are not the people that keep you there. And they're not the people that are going to want this a year from now. So the girls that got us to a diamond team, my rubies and senior rubies, my golds and senior golds, they are no longer with our company. And the people that got me back to diamond are an entirely new set of leaders. And I want you to know the first time I ranked up to diamond, it was within 21 months of my journey. And I did not have any jewels. We did this by, I like to think of myself as like a rock star recruiter, and I'll give you some tips on that in a minute, but I wasn't developing leaders. I was developing ranks, but I wasn't developing leaders of people that wanted to be here and make this a lifelong thing. The people that are on this Zoom, they are leaders. I've developed leaders now. We have worked through some ish, if you know what I mean, to have the team that we have. And it's crazy. Now we have 7 jewels. We're about to have our first diamond. We're about to have our second sapphire. And those are not things that I had when I went diamond the first time. And what I mean by that is 18 months after I ranked up diamond, I was one of the youngest diamonds in our company. It was such a cool feeling, surreal, because, I remember the day I went silver and I thought that was hard, right? I was like, whoo, third person, done, right? But to have a team of, 500 people and to be a diamond, like what? Look, that was crazy to me. Crazy. And sometimes it still feels crazy, even 7.5 years later. But I think about that. And I think about the girls that were working with me at that time and their seasons of life. All of us were new moms. Most of us were military women going through really hard times. And I think that can apply to any lifestyle, whether you're military or not. Some of you are new moms. Some of you are going through loss. Some of you are going through the crazy ways of the world right now with inflation and losing jobs and switching jobs and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just stressful and it's heavy. And so like, why would I work my Plexus business when the world is like, why? I have those same thoughts, but here's why. Because we get to, and because every single night someone lays their head down on their pillow, praying, meditating, thinking about a way to be healthier and to make more money. Every single human on this planet, even billionaires, they want to know, how can I be healthier and how can I make more money? I'm not lying to you. And so we have both of those at our fingertips every day in this Plexus business. Do not sleep on that. Do not take it for granted. In 2020, Plexus had its best year ever when the rest of the world shut down. Plexus had 2,000% growth. If you go to any company in the history of ever, including the Walton's family business, AKA Walmart, and you're like, hey, have you ever had a 2,000% growth? They'll be like, that doesn't happen in business. Like maybe 0.2%, 6%, 16% would be pretty epic. We had a 2,000% growth in 2020. It was our best year yet in the world, in the middle of a worldwide shutdown. So if you think, oh, Emily got into this at the right time, or Kendall got into this at the right time, or I'm just not like her, I can't be like that, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because every day somebody is what? Thinking about, praying about, meditating on being healthier and wealthier. It's just how our world operates, right? Because money is what pays our bills. It takes care of our kids. It puts gas in our tank. And we know that ain't cheap right now, right? So it's so important that you believe that and remind yourself of that every single day. So I would wake up and I would share on social media. That was free marketing. And it was the easiest way for me to connect with people that I had met over my, at the time, 24 years. I'm now 32 and I now have 3 children. You guys, working your business with 1 baby is a lot different than working your business with 3 babies. Let me just tell you that right now. And if you don't have children, bless you. You could have dogs, you could have animals. I also have cows. It's just different. This season of life is different, but it can be done. I had a conversation with someone on my team today about, asking her like, okay, what can you do? You're telling me you can't do this. You're telling me you can't do that. That's great. What can you do? What are you capable of? And she said, I have 30 minutes. Whether you hide in the bathroom, you're on a lunch break, you stand in your pantry and, hide from your kids, whatever that looks like. 30 minutes a day is still you moving your business forward. It's progress, just like runners, right? You aren't just a runner. Okay. You can ask any of your running friends what they'll probably tell you. Well, one day I just started. And it's never about the length that they've ran. Like some of them will say, oh, I ran 9 miles. It's always about the amount of time. So if you were to buy a book for runners, beginners, it would say run for 2 minutes straight. Great. Okay. Now the next day, run for 8 minutes straight. And the next day, run for 10 minutes straight. And you are building endurance. The same thing can be said in your Plexus business, right? When you are, you order your products, most of us are in it for health. Most of us. Every now and then one of you has that little inkling in the back of your mind where you're like, I can make some money with this. I know some people that could use this, right? But we don't admit it, but we think it, right? Well, those of us that get the products, you're walking and then you take your products and you're like, wow, I actually have the energy to maybe go to the gym today. Or wow, I have not snapping at my spouse today. Or wow, I slept through the night last night, right? You have these progressions and you start feeling good and you want to talk about it. That is what you're supposed to do. Just like when you go to Target or when you're at the gym. I don't know why gym selfies are a thing, because we're proud and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's important to share things that we're proud of that are positive and healthy. And I think Plexus falls in line with that. Now, as you're starting to share and you're building that, what I like to call Plexus Endurance, that doesn't mean you're a crazy Plexus person. I mean, you may feel that way, but honestly, it's just your story and how it's going to evolve. At the time when I started, I was a tired mom going through postpartum anxiety and depression. My husband was deployed. I needed to lose about 40 pounds. That was then. Okay. And then I had a second baby. That was the complete opposite of the first baby. I actually lost 30 pounds in pregnancy, was very sick, in and out of the hospital. And I had to gain weight. So the Plexus protein that we have, that helped keep me alive with my second baby. And then with my third baby girl, I kind of feel like I just knew what to expect. Right. And I maintained my weight and I felt healthy and I glowed through the whole pregnancy and it was fantastic. And then postpartum happened. I lost half of my team to another company. So do you see how different those seasons of life are? Like not even just the children, but my business was different. My health was different. And then to lose half of your diamond team and organization in a matter of 3 months, it was devastating. It was devastating. I will never forget just crying my eyes out to my husband and telling him I hated Plexus. I hate this. I never want to do it again. It feels like a divorce. This is miserable. And he told me to quit. And I looked at him. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That look. When your man pisses you off and you're like, you give him the eyes, you could burn holes through their shirt. You know what I'm talking about? I gave him that look and I'm like wiping my tears away. And I'm like, did you just tell me to quit? Like, you don't get to tell me to quit. And I went off and he was like, there she is. He reminded me that I had permission to stop. No one's forcing you to do this Plexus business. You get to do it, remember? And so I had to change to this attitude of gratitude that I got to do this, that I can work a business from my couch in my pajamas holding my babies, as opposed to sitting in traffic for 4 hours a day behind a desk for someone else's goals and aspirations. Because I've done that. I came from corporate America. I've done it. I'd much rather go braless and sit on my couch and talk to people about gut health all day. Okay. So I get to, right? I get to. And so this is what happened when I decided to have that comeback, right? You hear about people with the setback and the comeback is greater than the setback and all those fun quotes. Well, let me tell you what I did. Maybe you're going through a season of business where things are going backwards and not forwards. Maybe you're unmotivated. And honestly, my job is not to motivate. My job is just to remind you of what's possible. You guys, I've seen my paycheck at $900. I've seen it at $32,000. That is what's possible with what we have. I have other diamond friends who have even bigger paychecks where they're bringing $40,000 to $60,000 in a month. I have diamond friends that make $80,000 to $120,000 a month. I want you to wake up and see what you have at the palm of your hands on your smartphone. That is what is possible. And there's someone that you haven't even talked to yet that is going to be on your team and be at the next Emerald Extravaganza. I hope that excites you because that's what I tell myself every day. I could sit there and tell myself, I'll never have a new jewel. I don't have any runners. I can't get anybody to sign up. I have months like that. In January, I signed up one person and it was a family member. In February, I signed up 16. I'm telling you that to be honest. Like you're going to have weird seasons, but I also wasn't present in January, right? It was New Year resolutions. I was running a challenge group. I didn't really have time to work my own business. That's what I told myself. That was a lie. But in February, I was intentional with my time. I was intentional with the way that I posted on social media. I was intentional with the way I spent time with my team on coaching calls and on Zooms. And I had new growth from that. Now, rebuilding. Maybe you're in that season of hurt or business loss, and you're like, my bestie left for another company. I've lost people that just don't see they don't want to stay consistent. They want a quick fix, right? So here are some things that we did. For my mental health, my personal life, I did a fast with my husband, spiritual fast, and we read our Bible every day. We fasted, and I was just like, Lord, if it is not meant to be in my life, please take it away. And I included people in my team. And I mean, it was like an artery was cut. I mean, the blood was flowing, you guys. It hurt. It sucked. It was not fun. But then after that, I was in such a great headspace and I was reminded of what I was capable of, like all my skill sets, like what the Lord gave me. The Lord gave you skill sets too. Maybe it's humor. Maybe it is passion. Maybe it is the gift of encouragement. All of us have skills and gifts that we know we have or that we're proud of. We just need to use them more, right? Don't be the mom that puts the birthday presents in the top of the closet and doesn't let their kids play with them. Get those gifts down and play with them and use them and have fun with them. Okay. Because that's what I had to do in my business. I had to get out. I had to get back on Facebook Live. You guys, that was hard to admit defeat, to admit that people left, to admit that maybe it was me. I don't know. I'll never know if it was me or if it was a personal choice, but I knew that I loved Plexus. I knew that I had lost weight. I knew that I felt better. I knew that I was off Zoloft. I knew that I wasn't drinking 64 ounces of Diet Coke from Whataburger every day. I knew what I had changed my life and it was going to change it again. And so the ones that stayed, I said, thank you. And I recognized every little win that they had. And for those of you that are on my team and that can vouch for me, let's talk about that. We shouted out for every new customer, every bag of Slim sold, every new VIP. Then the comp plan changed. So we had to like really learn about that. And instead of just hyping it up, I got on the trainings. I rewatched the videos. I really wanted to understand it so I could explain it to my team to help them utilize it. Do y'all realize our compensation plan aligns perfectly with Instagram influencers? Literally, how it's designed is to align with what they're doing. You refer a product to your social media audience, just like an influencer. VIPs sign up to get a product at a discounted rate. And if they want to refer it to a friend, here's my referral link. You know what I started saying that just makes way more sense than compensation plan? I just say, hey, you use your referral link, you get thank you cash. If you don't want the cash, you can get a thank you product. And people just like that vocabulary better. It's easy to understand. I know that I did not read our compensation plan until I was Ruby. I literally printed out the PDF, busted out a highlighter, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Oh, that's why my paycheck was this much. Like I had to understand, but it took me a minute to get there. So as we rebuilt and as things changed with corporate and the comp plan for the better, I was like, you guys are being rewarded for staying. Like, that's how I felt about it. Like, you guys are consistent. You believe in this. Let's go help others believe in this too. And so guess what? I started getting on Facebook Live. My team started doing Facebook Lives. I started doing Zooms with my level ones. They started doing Zooms with their level ones. I got on corporate training calls. They got on corporate training calls. Was I annoying? Probably. Was I happier? Yes. Did I remind myself of the products that I use every single day? And I didn't necessarily blow up my news feed. What I've learned is that if I show up every day in my stories on Facebook and Instagram, if you don't know what I mean, when you log into, for instance, Instagram, let me log into it real fast. So when you're on your Instagram, this little icon up here, when someone has a purple ring around it or a red ring around it, it means they've put something in their stories. So for me, my stories, for instance, last night, I reshared my weight loss journey. Yep, that's me. That's my gut. I reshared it. I know what happened. It's been 4 years since I lost 60 pounds with Slim Hunger Control, MetaBurn, and lean shakes every single morning for breakfast. I lost 60 pounds, y'all. I was a poster child for MetaBurn. That's what I did. I had to do hard things. So I had to ask my team for forgiveness and pivot with the new corporate changes. I started recognizing them like crazy. And then I got on my products consistently. Notice how I didn't do that first. I needed to get like my mind right. And then I needed to make sure my team was right. And then I started taking my products because I knew I could. I knew I could commit to them again. And I started feeling good. Like, I was like, okay, I feel really good. And I joined a boot camp. It may sound like the stupidest thing I've ever done, but let me tell you what, it was fun. I got out lots of aggression and I met a ton of new women who are now on my team. It was just a local boot camp in town. I went every morning at 8:30 after I dropped my kids off at school. It was just like a part of my route back to my house. Like, I just made it a thing. And was I miserable? Absolutely. Did I almost die every workout? Absolutely. It was so hard. It was so hard, but it changed my mind about me. I didn't like myself. I didn't like my team. I just didn't like where I was at, but I learned to like myself. I learned that I could do hard things. I learned that I could work out even after having 3 kids, because Lord, I thought I was going to die some days. And then I learned that our products helped me recover. They gave me energy. And like I said, that was when MetaBurn came out. So I was like, your girl taking it every morning on the way to the gym. I'd get on Instagram and make a story and be like, here's my MetaBurn, here's my Slim, I'm going to the gym. After the gym, I would go make a protein shake in my car. I usually had it in my car. Some of my stories included me getting my protein shake all over my car. Have any of you ever done that before, when you're shaking up your Slim or your lean and it just goes because the lid's not on? Yeah, did that a couple times on my Instagram. But the reason I'm telling you that is because I did it every single day for the next 18 months. And my team did too. And when the world shut down 18 months later, people had nothing better to do but work their business from home. People that weren't going into work were like, how can I make money with Plexus? I'm not working. I need money. And so we would get on Zoom with them. The Why Plexus, Why Now calls that we still have. We still get on those. We still send people to them. We started doing them ourselves. And 7 jewels, including my husband, who was senior Ruby for like 7 years, he was an emerald. Jessica, who y'all can see in the chat, she was one of my new emeralds. People that had been on my team for years, just like, ooh, taking off like rockets. It wasn't that anything different that they were doing. They were just showing up and being intentional with their time and being confident. Nobody wants, would you go into, okay, think about this. You're on a flight, right? You're on an airplane. And how would this make you feel? The pilot of your flight, you know how they get on, you can't really understand. They're like, hello, thank you for flying with us tonight, right? How would you feel if your pilot gets on the mic and they're like, thank you for flying on flight 1818. I don't know where we're going. We might get there in an hour and we might get there in 7 hours. Thank you for flying. Would you not be like, hold on a minute, I bought my ticket. Where are we going? Like, you knew where you were going because it's on that piece of paper, right? Wouldn't that make you feel a little weird, maybe untrustworthy or like panicky? I don't know. Imagine the people that you've invited into Plexus getting on your flight to the top, to gold, to whatever destination that they've brought up to you, the weight loss destination, the gut health destination. And that's like you not following up with them, not having a conversation, not setting clear, confident expectations. Like, listen here, girl, you going to do this with me? We're doing it for 90 days. Can you commit to 90 days? Because if you can't commit to 90 days, then you can take ProBio 5 and you can stay a happy customer. But if you're serious and you want the bundle, we're going to sign you up. You're going to check in with me for the next 90 days. And if you don't think you can commit to that, then I don't think I can commit to helping you. Setting clear, confident expectations are what sets the tone for your business. And that is like getting on a flight where your captain is like, thank you for flying United. Flight 1818, we're going to the Bahamas. Is everyone ready for a beautiful sunny vacation? The temperature is 82 degrees. It's partly cloudy. Like that's a pilot that I want to hear from. I want to know where we're going, how long it's going to take to get there. Now, is there going to be turbulence? Sometimes. Is there going to be a detour? Sometimes. But at least the pilot comes on and tells me that and sets those clear expectations for my journey. I think that it's so important with you showing up on social and you inviting people. I mean, there is nothing worse than not following up with someone that orders from you. And I'll be the first to admit that's why I hired a personal assistant, because that was my toxic trait in this business. I did not follow up with people well. I barely could follow up with my kids. Did you brush your teeth? Did you take a shower? I don't know. I don't care. I'm too tired, And so now I have to do this with this huge team. What do you want from me? That's kind of how I would feel and talk about my business and talk to myself. But I mean, have you ever been in a daycare before or in a preschool? And have you ever seen a teacher do this? All eyes on me. All eyes on me. And what do those kids do, right? They slowly get quiet and all eyes are on the teacher. And they just have those eyes full of hopefulness, right? Like, what is she going to tell us? They're eager to learn. They're hungry for it. That is what these people joining you feel like. I know because I was that person. You should know because you were once that person, right? What were you going to bed praying for? What did you expect out of this business? I think we just have to have hard conversations. The whole reason I even changed and decided to fight for my business was because someone on my team, who at the time was a level 5, now she's one of my best friends, said to me, you turned your light off. And I replied back to her message. I said, excuse me? She said, your light is off. I was like, I don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. She goes, Emily, when I joined Plexus, your light was on. You were bright and inviting, and your light has been off for too long. Turn your light back on. And I did. I went live that day. I will never forget. It was like May of 2019. And people were like, there she is. We didn't even know you did Plexus anymore. Like, this is great. And I talked about people leaving. I talked about the weight gain. I talked about joining a gym. I talked about all the stuff. People want to know these things. Like, that's just how humans are. Like, we're nosy and curious. And so I challenge you to tell stories about your day-to-day on your social. Don't mention Plexus, just your daily days, right? But in your stories, when you're mixing up that pink drink, be intentional. I get it. Sometimes we're in a hurry and you do it in the car. But if you're at home or in the office or have time to prop up your phone and shake it up, set up your phone. Do the hands-free little button and be like, good morning, you guys. I'm just making this pink drink. It helps me with boom, boom, boom. If you've never tried it, you have to message me. I can't wait to tell you more about it. Boom, done. Something as simple as that, showing up and doing that twice a week, I promise you, you have new eyes on you, especially on Instagram, because a hashtag can reach thousands of people. I have met so many new level 1s from just using hashtag like healthy mom, energy, just normal everyday hashtags are like, I found you because of this. It popped up. And I was like, oh, but it's because I show up. And I stopped trying to be this perfect leader. I admitted my faults. I talked about hard things. I started re-explaining things that were second nature to me. Because tell me how long you've been in Plexus in the chat. I like interactive stuff. So don't feel like you're interrupting or anything if you put in the chat. I want to know how long you've been with Plexus. Sometimes we feel like we're really great at something. Like for me, recruiting comes firsthand to me because I like talking to people. I like telling them what to do. Remember, I'm the oldest of 4. I'm kind of bossy, but I use that to my advantage by telling people, hey, this is what's working well for me. If your goal is weight loss, this is what we're doing. The weight loss basics combo. It comes with Slim and 2 free products and a water bottle. You're going to take this protein shake every day for breakfast. If you can't commit to that, let me know now. I let them reply. Yes, that sounds great. Okay, wonderful. You're going to drink this every day for breakfast. I use unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Feel free to use water or milk or whatever floats your boat, but you have to drink it every day for breakfast because you're going to turn your body into a fat burning machine when you do that. Before lunch, you're going to take your Slim and MetaBurn. It's amazing. I say it's my crack. And I'm learning not to say that because it's not professional, but it is because I love that stuff. Okay. But this is what I do. I tell people what to do because they want to be told what to do. When I joined Plexus, I wanted to be told what to do. I ordered the triplex and Plexus actually got my order wrong. You know what I got? I got Slim Probio 5 and Accelerator Plus. No, that's a lie. I got Slim Bio Cleanse and Accelerator Plus. I didn't even get the gold Probio 5. I didn't even get that for 2 weeks. And they realized they made a mistake and they called me and they sent it to me. But it's just so funny to me when I think about that because I could have been like so ugly about that. Like they couldn't even get my order right. But I didn't. I took it the way that, because they sent me the triplex instructions. So I was taking those like the triplex. I had no idea. But I felt great and I lost weight and it was great. And then when I added in Probio 5, whoo, game changer, right? But I wanted to be told what to do. I wanted instructions. Does anybody like shopping at IKEA? Not really, but it's cheap and we keep doing it and we keep them in business. But here's what happens. You see their beautiful setup, right? You see it. They're like, oh my gosh, the living room is so cute. That's what I want. That's what I want, babe. That's what I want. Can we get that, right? And you get it. And then who puts it together? Babe. Babe puts it together in the living room. Why? Because you open those instruction manual and you're like, I'm out. Not doing that because it seems like a lot. Do not make your Plexus business like IKEA furniture. Okay. Do not feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. You have so many great, simple tools and resources. Stick with one thing, 30 minutes a day for the next 3 months. And if you can message me and be like, Emily, this did not work, then fine. We'll figure it out. But I guarantee you, all of you will be like, wow, I'm seeing growth. You start telling people what to order and what to do, I guarantee you, you will see growth. I'm seeing that some of you have been on this journey 6 months, 3 years, 9 months, a week, 3.5 years, 11 months, 6 years, 5 years, approaching 3 years. I joined in 2015, 7 years, 3 months, 8 years, 5 years, 1 month. For those of you that have been here for a month, thank you for being on. That is so awesome. Good for you. And I'm not trying to freak any newbies out. I'm just being very honest because it is a business, right? I work best when I'm told what to do. Is it Jerry Ann? Am I saying that right? If I'm not saying you're right, sorry. But me too. Anytime my husband needs help, he has to tell me what to do. I need this tool. You'll find it in this toolbox on this side of the garage, right? Just like if I need help with cooking or with the kids, I hate the diaper bag is over here on the right side of the kids' room. Like, you know what I mean? Like we give very detailed instructions to make sure the job gets done. Okay. And when I think about my Plexus business, when I turned my light back on, I just started re-explaining things in a simple way. Okay. Today we are all going to go on and tell a story about Slim and what it does for us. On Friday, we're all going to go and share a diamond documentary in our stories. And like, we're going to learn a new skill, screen recording. If you don't even know what that means, Google it. Basically, it's where you can, whatever your video you're watching on your phone, you can record that screen and then upload it as a video to your stories, right? We learned how to do hard things. Those are not hard things. They just take a little bit of time, but it makes your business look more exciting. It makes you look like you know what you're doing, right? We also started reading more books as a team, maybe not together. I'm not one to do a book study. I'm terrible at it. I'm actually doing one right now that I've just sucked at. I've read it myself, but I'm not very good at like doing that. But helping my team, we have read, what are some books that we read? Chasing the Lion. I think that's what it's called. Atomic Habits is what we're reading right now. The Irrefutable, John Maxwell, anything John Maxwell, especially when you want to learn about leadership and just getting out of your own way. But when you set clear expectations, when you give people simple directions, they do the work. They want to share because it's simple. I'm reading Atomic Habits now and it's changing my life. It is. It's so like so many light bulb moments, especially because the man that wrote the book had like the most terrible young adulthood happen to him. And now he's a successful gazillionaire because he put it in a book of this is what I did to change my life. The Laws of Leadership. Thank you, Jessica. Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I think that if we are honest with ourselves about where we are in the season of life that we're in, and then we commit to that, like make sure your family's on board. If they're not, if your family, real quick, if your family is not supportive, they ain't your people. If Kendall will cheer you on all day, you go tell Kendall, guess what? I signed up a Slim customer. Guess what? Signed up a new, go tell your upline that. If your spouse is not happy about Plexus, do not tell them nothing until you can show them the money. That's what I learned. My husband hated Plexus until he logged into my virtual office and saw names and people and was like, wow, this is legit. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. But he didn't know what he didn't know, just like I used to make fun of it, right? So we're going to be authentic. We're going to be consistent. These are things you already know. You've probably heard in any job you've ever had, right? Good customer service skills, setting those clear expectations, telling people what to do. I had a conversation lately with another person that's not on my team that was just like, Emily, how do you sign up so many people? And I simplified it for myself. Do you think I have all the welcome pack combos memorized? Sure don't. Couldn't even tell you half of them. I picked 2, the triplex and weight loss basics. Now, if I'm feeling a little like full of myself, I'll go and recommend 209 welcome packs. Okay. But right now, I love the triplex or the weight loss basics. And even more than that, did you guys know that we have a quiz now? And the way that you get to the quiz, if you want someone to take the quiz and have Plexus recommend products to them, so you don't have to do it, that's fine. It's your referral link /quiz. Okay. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. I'm done. I'm logging out. No, that's your link so your referral link /quiz. And not only will they be able to order from you directly after that quiz, but also it walks them through their goals. So it's going to ask them about digestion, gut health, weight loss. Are they active? What's their level of activity? Things like that. I have been using that quiz since I used it all of February and all of this month. And I think my assistant's on right now, but I think we're at like 33 enrollments ever since I started using that. And here's what I did. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you what I did. Don't worry. This is what I do. I use Genevieve's magic post. If someone could please put that in the chat for me, that would be great. I'm looking for 6 friends to try my pink drink at my cost. It comes with 2 free products and a water bottle. Tell me how great you feel in 60 days or something like that. I just ruined it. But if someone has it, please post it in the chat. That's the magic post. Now, before you go and you post this and look like a weirdo Plexus person, let me tell you the background stuff. There's what's happening in the background. Yes, I post that. I only post it at night. Why? Why do I post it at night? Who wants to be the brownie point person? Why do I post it at night? Anybody want to guess in the chat?
People are scrolling. I don't know.
Because moms are online at night. Why? Because the children are sleeping. The husbands are on their phones or TV. And the moms are on social media, right? We're looking at the TikTokers. We're looking at the weight loss stuff. We're looking at online shopping. We're online at night. It's when we have our free time most of the time, right? So I only post it at night, usually between 8 and 10 p.m. my time. And I usually post it between the 15th and the end of the month. After I post it, my team knows to come and help a sister out. And some of you probably know what I mean by that, where it says, comment me below. I think Whitney said, check out the comments. So this last time I posted it, I posted my before and after in the comments, and then 3 people from my team, their before and afters, and the combo that they personally use, just to show people this is what they use. Here's what's working for them the last 18 months, the last 3 years, the last 6 months, whatever their journey looks like. And there's another thing that you can put that will say, comment me if you want this deal. Now, my team will go and comment me, I'm in, I'm interested, just to kind of help me out. So you got to pay attention, make sure you're not selling to somebody on your team. but that usually changes your algorithm a little bit, which the algorithm is just the Facebook robots that put your status out to other people's news feeds. Okay. It's a little fancy term. So people start seeing your post. Here's what I did in February. After I posted that, I went live. And my team laughs at me when I tell this story because I had my breast implants removed in February. I'm trying to be the most natural version of myself, you guys, and I feel incredible since doing so. So I was on painkillers and melatonin when I went live, and I was being very silly, but I got the point across, okay? I was talking about the two combos that my post was referring to. I got them out on my counter, so I had them ready to go when I went live. I was in my pajamas, you guys. I was not dolled up with makeup. Like, I looked a mess, okay? And I used a filter because I was looking rough, all right? So I'm on this live and I'm like telling it, I'm mom-splained it. Does anybody know what that means? Have you ever? Yes, I was authentically me, Jessica, 100%. Does anybody know what the term mom-splain means? When you mom-splain something, it means that you explain it like a mom. If you ever heard a mom talking to their kid in the grocery store or Chick-fil-A, and they're like, you want the nuggets because they're good for you and help your hair grow, like you kind of dumb it down, so to speak. I was mom-splaining Plexus, okay? And I went on and I said, I kind of listed like 3 fun facts about each product and the ingredients that were in them. Now listen, I've memorized them. I have ADHD. That's what I do. I memorize things all the time because I'm afraid I'm going to forget everything. It's something that I do. And so I have these notes in my phone that I'm constantly reading to remember, why do I take Metaburn? Why do I drink Slim? Why do I drink my lean shake every day? Okay. So I was remembering these fun facts and I just got on and I was like, hey, you guys, I have 57 comments over on that post. Let me explain to you what you're getting because everyone thinks that's the pyramid scheme and it's not. You actually get products. Let me show you the products that you're going to get and how much you're going to get them for. So it was like borderline mom-splain / ShamWow commercial. Okay. I was just super silly and having fun with it. I held up the lean, told them what lean does. And I talked about how every bag feeds 14 families in America. I talked about Metaburn and how it helps you with focus and fat burning and your sex life. I'm not kidding. It does. Why? Because of the ingredient grains of paradise and the ingredient rhodiola. Google it. That's all I'm going to say. And then I would talk about the triplex and how I've kind of customized it and made the triplex different. I talk about Slim, Vital Biome, and BioCleanse. And then in your second month, adding in ProBio 5, just to avoid major candida die-off and detox. So I just kind of explained what was working for me and what was working for my most recent customers. I got all the products out. I showed them on the screen. I had little notes on the counter so I didn't forget what I was talking about. And then I ended it. You guys, I thought I was going to bed after that. I was so inundated with messages and people that have been watching me since 2014. And here's the thing, not all of them signed up. I had 57 comments of interest. They not all signed up. 9 signed up after that video. And then we had already signed up like 6 or 7 earlier in the month under my husband's account. But I am sharing this with you because people want to see your face. They want to hear your voice, your excitement. They want to hear what it's doing for you. Get a little silly. Mom-splain it, right? Or whatever it is, Sherry-splain it, Jara-splain it, Mari-splain it, Lisa-splain it, whatever that looks like for you, just explain it in your words. That's what I've done from the beginning. And I even say in the video, I think I say, listen, I'm just a mom. I'm not a scientist. Like, I think that's what I said. But when something works well for a mom, what do moms do? What do? We talk about it and it spreads like wildfire, right? And so that's what I did. After that, if someone commented on my post or on my video, I'm interested, send me details. What is Plexus? Whatever. I sent every single one of them the same thing. I had 3 different responses typed up in the notes of my phone. I still do because I'm doing this to this. I just posted that status again last week. And so now I'm doing it all over again. But this is what I sent them. Remember the quiz we talked about? And don't worry. I'm going to send this to Whitney right now so she can post it in the chat for y'all. But this is what I did. It went like this. It was like, hey, Jordan. I always say their name. And if I didn't have time, I would send it in a voice message, but it was easy to copy and paste. So I said, hey, Jordan, I saw your comment. I would love to help you. I'm going to send you this newly launched quiz to see which one of those combos is best for you. When you're done with the quiz, send me a screenshot of your results. That is your golden ticket because it's a call to action for them. It forces them to come back to you and say, hey, this is what it recommended to me. And so from there, it's a conversation starter because maybe they got recommended a build your own combo. And so that's boring because there's no picture. And so you're like, Sarah, I noticed you got the build your own combo in your screenshot. Could you tell me a little bit more about your goals? And they could say something like, well, I really need to lose 35 pounds, but I struggle with going to the bathroom regularly. So in mine, knowing what I know about triplex, I would recommend the triplex with slim hunger control to help with the weight loss, but the other two to help with her digestion and regularity, right? So it's just a great conversation starter, but I sent this to every single person to get them to take the quiz. Now, 3 days would go by if they hadn't ordered or answered the quiz message. I went back to the comment on the post and I would say, hey, you need to check your message. I sent it to you right when you asked me to, something like that, or a funny GIF or whatever. And then I'd go back into the message. I sent him a friend request if we weren't friends, but I would go back into the message and send something like, hey, just want to make sure you saw this. Sometimes it goes to your spam folder. Just kind of like a follow-up. March 1st through the 6th, I think we signed up 6 people. I earned my tablet, the first remarkable tablet, the first week of March, just with follow-ups from the February post. But you got to do the behind the scenes work. You see what I mean? I didn't just post it and pray, please, Lord Jesus, send me 6 people to try my pink drink. No, that's not what I did. I posted it and did a live about what they were going to get, and then had verbiage ready to go with hopes that people were going to be interested in what I had to say about what was helping me. You guys, your friends don't want to feel fat. They don't want to feel bloated. They don't want to be aches and painy. They want to sleep well at night. They want their spouses. And we have things that help all of those things. We have to talk about it. And you want to get people's attention? Go post this tonight. I found a supplement that helps with your sex life. Go tell me you aren't going to sell 7 weight loss basics combos tonight. You're welcome. I'm not kidding. People are sick of Viagra. They're sick of the harsh medicines. They want natural alternatives, and we got them for reals. Okay. In the chat, you will see the message that I sent out. That's the follow-up message. My quiz is at the end of it. So make sure you edit that so it's your quiz, or you can be sending people to me and I don't want them. You need to sign them up. But that's what I was doing. Another example of a message that I would send out if I was kind of like, I'll be honest, about 20 minutes into it, I was a little sick of sending out the quiz because some of the people didn't understand what to do with the quiz. And so instead, I sent this message. Hey, Megan, absolutely, I would love to help you. Here's the link for that weight loss basics package. I'm putting all of my girls on this because it's working so well for me. If you're looking for more energy and less inflammation, check out the active lifestyle package instead. It comes with slim, active, and ease capsules. And then my link. And then it says, you're going to create a new VIP account. There's a banner at the top where you can click on. Skip that quiz and select the active lifestyle bundle or the weight loss basics package, whichever one suits your goals. Follow the steps, check out with economy shipping and this promo code. Screenshot. Yes, I will put this in there too. Screenshot it to me when you get your confirmation page. You know what's better than a quiz result screenshot? A confirmation order screenshot, because that means they signed up. It was so fun. And I'm still doing that. You guys, I'm a diamond ambassador. I do not have to work. I don't. Let's be real. I do not have to work. I have a team that's killing it. We've enrolled 500 VIPs this month. I could sit back, relax, and chill, but I don't want to. I love helping women feel good. You know how people get irritated when people post selfies at the gym or like, look how much weight I've lost? Not me. Get me a megaphone. I'm going to cheer for you all day. That is what I do in my inbox for a living. And that's what is available to you to do too. You just have to want to. And for those of you that are like, well, I haven't lost that weight yet, or I'm not like you, you can be like me. You can be like me. You can be encouraging. You can be positive. We all have the same products. Our 24 hours may look a little different, but we all have the same products. And for those of you that are still on your weight loss journey, own it. Listen here, sisters, I haven't lost 60 pounds yet, but I'm about to. Come back and follow up in a year. You watch me, look at me. Be confident in what you have and what you offer. And people can't help but order from you because they're like, I want that, whatever she's on, right? So, Kendall, people would like for you to call. I can send these messages.
I
to
got
you.
it, girl. I've already got them saved. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm like, I can send them to you and you can post them in your team page or whatever, but that is what is working well for me right now. My team is implementing the same thing. Some of them kind of do it in their own way, whether it's in a chat form, like we call them pink 15s. Kendall, do y'all know what those are?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have Brooks format. Yeah.
Perfect. So some people do pink 15s. It's just a 15-minute messenger event where they do something similar. Some people prefer just talking about it in their stories, but whatever works for you, keep doing it. If you're not doing any of these things, pick one, implement it tonight. Try out the magical post, right? Most of the time people want it. Second of all, they want to know, okay, well, how much is it really going to cost me? Be honest. Right now, the 109 welcome pack with the SAM 2020 promotional code is about $89 because welcome packs are already 10% off. So I like to say you're getting my favorite trio for less than $100. Jump on that. Like, I'm very upfront and honest. And if you want to get even more crazy, you can divide 109 divided by 30 days and be like, you're spending $4 a day to get your gut healthy, right? 363, I rounded up, but you could just like really get technical with them if they get sassy with you about not wanting to spend money. It's like, okay, is that Dr. Pepper going to help you out? No, I didn't think so, Terry. So take your Plexus. It's $4 a day. And you just tell them what's up. Okay. They secretly like it. I promise they do. Now, I've been doing this exact thing, but I haven't done the live. I'm going to start doing that. Yes, Jarrett, do it. It's awesome. All right, Kendall, that is what I'm doing.
Amazing.
That's for me. Yes.
Yes, I have a page full of notes. There's so many great ideas. So I hope y'all all took notes. And I just love, I mean, it's such a good story of overcoming because so many people just look at Jules and think they're lucky or they have something I didn't have or they're just charismatic or whatever. And there is not a single person who has had success in any business that didn't go through struggles and setbacks. And so often, as soon as we face any kind of wall, we're like, I'm done. I can't do it. It must not be for me. God must not mean this for me. When really it's like, nope, now you pick up the shovel and start working. Like, and you've got to recognize if you're on this path, it's because there's a purpose. And are you going to show up for your purpose? So I love it. So much good stuff. Well, thank you for giving us your time tonight. We just really appreciate you. And I just love hearing your story. It never gets old. So guys, thank you everyone for hopping on here. And I have the recording if anybody wants it to re-listen to some of the tips and notes that Emily offered up tonight. So anyway, thanks everyone.